it's Anissa Kermiche. This is my episode of My Style, My Space. Let me show you my new office. Come on in. So it took me forever to find this space. Wouldn't believe it, but London is actually quite tricky with real estate. You fall in love with a space and then there's no fiber or the electricity is dodgy. And finally, when I found this one, I was quite prepared for it to not work, and it did work. I mean, I found a few surprises afterwards, but they're manageable. It all started in my flat 7 years ago. I remember in my very first office, which was a little bedroom at home. I had barely launched my website back then. My brand was 3 months old, and I remember meeting a buyer. It was a buyer from Net-a-Porter actually, and she asked to come and visit my showroom, and I didn't know what a showroom was, or I was quite innocent when it came to the fashion world because I come from an engineering background. I ordered a few pieces of furniture here and there, and I printed, because I didn't have any art, I printed a few pictures from my campaign and put a few flowers here and there. And here I had a showroom like a week later and pretended that I was a professional. And it worked because they picked up the brand, so that was the beginning of the adventure. We moved here about a year and a half ago, which was after lockdown. There was very much a work from home atmosphere and kind of trend back then, and it was important for me to create a space that felt like home, so that we all feel that we work from home in a way. And I realized that we all spend so much time at the office. I wanted this space to look very unique and to tell a story. I always think that decorating a space is almost like choosing your clothes in the morning. There's no inspiration in particular, it's just, I think, a translation of your mood. The most important was to really bring so many pieces that I have fell in love with. I kind of believe in energies, and to me, if a piece has been loved, that has had that love at first sight for me, it will bring a lot of love here and just look coherent. I loved the sofa here because of its circular shape, and I thought it really matched the spirit that I wanted to create in this place, which is a spirit of cohesion, of teamwork, of kind of like solidarity between team members, and the fact that it's this like circular shape that allows us to have quite a cozy time when we all sit here. I often wonder where does my taste, if I can call that taste, for interior comes from, because I can't say it was running in my family at all, but my knowledge came from just loving it so much and just collecting interiors magazines from a very early age. I remember my very first salary was completely spent in a chair, and my mom was not very happy about that because I had to pay back my student loan and I had nothing left. Also, it's a chair that's not very appealing to anyone. Everyone calls it the bin bag. It looks like a big leather dress and it looks like a person, and I still have it to this day. But yes, I think beautiful furniture makes me happy, really, really, really happy. I really wanted the office interiors to reflect who I am, and I think by extension it does reflect the brand. That's why we see a lot of feminine touches and curviness, like circle is my favorite shape for some reason. I love an ellipse, I love a three-dimensional circle, I love anything circular, which happens to be also the symbol of femininity. The decision to have a gallery wall here was very important because a lot of my inspiration comes from art in general and from going to see art. Lucky enough to have started collecting a bit of art a few years ago when things started finally going well with work, and I just need to be surrounded by art. Favorite one comes from a little artist who happens to be my niece. It's this little painting here that I actually stole from her mother, my sister, when we went to pick her up from school when she was 3. And I just saw the potential in her little drawing, which kind of reminds me a bit of a Cy Twombly painting, and I framed it in this lovely golden frame, and I must say my sister is really jealous. This table has been with me for a while now. I think we have celebrated our 10-year anniversary. I bought it when I first moved to London, when I was sharing a flat with a friend in East London in Shoreditch, and I remember spotting it and being really attracted not only by the price then, but also by this fabulous tainted mirror that's on top. And I'm quite happy that it works well in this setup, because it doesn't cover too much the rug that's underneath, which I really want to show. Maybe it brings me luck, so I don't think I'll ever separate from this table. Mixing high-end and affordable has always been a thing. Vase was found in one of my favorite markets that everyone knows about now. In London, it's called Camden Market, so you have to be quite brave and love furniture like I do, because you have to wake up at 5 in the morning on a Tuesday, and it's often grey and humid and dark, and people are quite hostile and grumpy and competitive in the morning, but you have to be tough. And yes, this one I found it a while ago, £10, and I think it's supposed to be outside in a garden, but I think it's very happy inside, so far it hasn't complained, so we're good. So this entire corner here didn't exist before. I actually created an extension because the space, like a lot of spaces in London, didn't have storage at all. So I created this little room here, which has a lot of our molds and all the tools that are necessary for creation. And yes, we mounted those boxes with the lights on top to display the jewellery. And as you know, as I said many times, because it was hard to do something quite original with not that much budget, I used the boots, ceramic boots that I designed a few years ago with the shoe brand Nodaletto. So I aligned 4 of them on the floor and just made to measure a piece of glass, a piece of mirror that I mounted on top. And as a result, I have this like surrealist looking shelf that probably cost me £40, so I'm quite proud of that one. This is a piece that I particularly adore, and I'm also quite jealous of the designer who made it. It often happens when I talk with other designers, you see something and you think, why have I not thought about it first? It seems so evident now, why have I not done it first? But he's done it first. His name is Arthur de Bornan. He's actually not a furniture designer, he's a set designer. When I saw it, I was just obsessed, and I can't say it was the most affordable piece, and I had a lot of sleepless nights thinking about it before making the decision to buy it, and I just love it. I have a fetish for chairs in general. I'm a chair collector. As you know, my first salary was spent on a chair, and yes, this one makes me very, very happy. The decision to make a glass wall would sound just trivial for any interior designer or architect, because that's a method that's used to make any space look bigger. And here I thought having this kind of Tetris looking wall would be lovely, and also it was a more economical way to do it, because not only buying a big piece of glass or transporting a big piece of glass, having it transferred into our space would be much more expensive. So I did this drawing here, and we just had to mount maybe 10 pieces of glasses together. This piece of velvet fabric was installed to separate the not so sexy side of the workspace with the sexy side. This mirror here, actually, same thing happened to me as what happened with the chair. It kind of represents everything I love, because it's called a jewellery mirror. It's a lot of circles, which is my favorite shape. It looks quite voluptuous, and I just wish I had designed it. I can dream about it instead. This is one of my favorite paintings in this space here. It was painted by this young female artist from Iceland called Sunniva Asa Veshape. I hope I pronounce it well. First, you have to get closer to understand the complexity of it. You can see here there's lace, there's rust, a bit of hair, there's a crystal. She kind of like just juxtaposes different materials to create this specific look. To me, it's a kind of like challenge on like questions of femininity. I love the mixing of kind of like aggression with beauty, or like softness with a bit of grit. As you can see here, it's a torn underwear with the lace around it, and here she uses fishnet and lace mixed with a more solid material. So the table was made by a friend of mine, Elif, who makes everything in where she comes from in Turkey. I must say, a headache to install. It's extremely heavy. We had the 4 strongest men ever, and the amount of sweat I saw that day, I will never get over it. The feature that I like the most about the table is the kind of like rainbow gradient between glasses. So as you can see, it goes from a mustardy yellow to green to pink. Yes, it adds a bit of color in this quite neutral space. And the chairs I'm so excited about. I just designed them actually a month ago, so it's all very new here. It happened a bit randomly, so basically I was furnishing this space and I was looking for a lot of chairs, and I couldn't find anything that was pretty enough or affordable enough as well for the space. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a chance. Why not design my own chairs, especially because I found a metalsmith that doesn't work far from here. Very closely with him to achieve this very feminine yet quite like bold and like strong look. So it's 5 different designs, and they're all unique and handmade. They all have different feet. My favorite one is the one who crosses her legs, and she's got ribbon arms as well, which is a different technique of metalsmith. So it combines metallic sheets, and it combines being able to curl and curve some metallic cable as well. I think they all have their own different little personality. This one that people really love, she's very heavy. I think you can feel her personality in her weight. Renewing with a small budget is kind of I think I have a PhD in that, because it's been the story of my life. I think it's like much more interesting because there's more pleasure to take when you see a beautiful, expensive looking place that you only want to know that it didn't cost that much. Wake up early, be brave to go to flea markets, antique markets, and make your imagination work. Try to picture them in your space. And I would say also be a good scroller. I would suggest Etsy and eBay, where you can find really, really good bargains. Again, like I think people who have made rush decisions in the past and now want to get rid of furniture really fast. So before we go, I need to show you my favorite room, which is the pink room. Follow me. So welcome to my pink room, which is I think everyone else in the company's favorite room as well. As I said, I decorated this office space to have a work from home feel. So if earlier we saw what the living room was, now we kind of seeing what the bedroom is. I would lie if I said I never take a nap here. Long naps, don't tell anyone. A lot of designers use white as a base for its neutrality in the room where they design, and I do use a pink room. To me, it is so calming. It is so relaxing. I feel like I'm already like relaxed since we arrived here. So yes, this is where a lot of big decisions are made. This is where I interview people. I made sure that it would have like a kind of a cocoony feel by painting the ceiling as well in pink. And I won't tell you what pink it is because it was a secret recipe mixing different pinks with my decorator. Try to match it also with the carpet so that we feel completely surrounded from head to toes by pink. And again, I used the same trick of my different little mirrors to make the space look bigger and more pink, as it's reflecting pink opposite. This entire room was quite economical to design. It was about painting it pink to have the maximum effect and finding a matching carpet. And this table and chairs were also a bargain. I mean, as you can see, they're not new, they're second hand, but to me they have much more charm. And I found them on Etsy I was quite surprised. It's good leather, good quality, and it was maybe something around £200 for the 4 chairs. And this table from Urban Outfitters, actually. You can make fun of me, but I love it and everyone else does, so it does the job for me. And here we have also, it's an Etsy find, this lovely antique, call it a vase. I love changing flowers when I'm in the mood. Thank you so much for letting me show you around my space. I hope you enjoyed watching.